Michael Chandler gets a call from Ric Flair. Petr Yan wants to fight TJ Dillashaw. Michael Bisping and Dillon Danis get into a heated exchange on Twitter. All this and more in today's MMA Report. Former UFC bantamweight champion TJ Dillashaw is set to return after serving a 2-year suspension for his use of EPO. In interviews, he stated he deserves an immediate title shot due to the division being dull and never losing the belt. Well, it looks like TJ might just get that, as in a recent interview, Yan suggested if he gets past Sterling, he wants to fight Dillashaw. Edgar older, it's not big, fan base is not good. Sandhagen, he lose to Sterling. Maybe Dillashaw, TJ's back after doping tests. I want to fight with him. It's up to the UFC. However they decide if the term is right, then I'm going to fight him. Just let's make sure that he's not going to use anything prohibited. It's a real great fight and I win. He's older, he took 2 years, don't fight, and now if I remember he's 34. It's older for bantamweight division. Furthermore, during the same interview, Yan took some time to talk about Conor McGregor's loss to Dustin Poirier at UFC 257, stating he thought McGregor looked fat and old. But what do you think? UFC heavyweight contender Curtis Blaydes is on a 4-fight winning streak and overall has won 10 of his last 12 fights in UFC, with his only 2 losses coming from Francis Ngannou, so it's fair to say Blaydes should be in the title picture. However, with Stipe and Ngannou set to fight at UFC 260 and Dana White saying Jones will get the winner, Blaydes said this to James Lynch of Line Movement: "If they end up giving the next title shot to John, if Rozenstruik were to win, I'd take him. If not, I'd just wait. Jarizinho, who's also a former kickboxer, he's got the power and the style to hang with Gane. It's going to be a good fight, and if Jarizinho wins, he's going to be an option." Former UFC welterweight Ben Askren is set to box YouTube star Jake Paul April 17th. While most fans and fighters seem to think Askren is going to lose, UFC lightweight Michael Chandler said this on the Jim Rome Show: "The man is a wild card. He marches to the beat of his own drum. Jake Paul is not a great boxer. Ben Askren is not a great boxer. Ben Askren, the weakest of his attributes is his ability to strike on the feet. But I think depending on the referee rules set and how the promotion is set up, Ben is going to be able to get his hands on Jake, do some dirty boxing, some underhooks, some pushing, some pulling. We're going to see, and Ben may be penalized for it. Ben may be pulled off of him, maybe broken up, but you're going to see Ben close the distance. Ben gets his hands on him. You're going to see Ben wear out Paul, because there's a difference between boxing at distance and throwing punches and having a guy in your face, putting pressure on you, pushing you up against the ropes. You've got to remember, yes, it's boxing, but Ben knows how to move, maneuver, and manipulate another human body, his opponent, with his hands. So it's going to be interesting to watch the dirty boxing, the clinch game, and Ben's toughness. We saw Ben get knocked out cold, but listen, King Kong himself would have gotten knocked out by that Masvidal knee. Ben traditionally has a phenomenal chin and the wherewithal to be able to push Paul around the boxing ring for 8 3-minute rounds. Mark my words, he finishes Paul later in the fight." Former UFC lightweight champion Eddie Alvarez has claimed he would be able to defeat Khabib due to him being a bad stylistic matchup. With Eddie set to take on Yuri Lapicus in one championship, Alvarez spoke with Morning Combat and took some time to talk about how a match with the undefeated GOAT would go. "I am the only matchup that will make any sense or give him a terrible time. There is one guy who gave Khabib a terrible time in the whole division, T-Bout. T-Bout is not overly great at anything, and neither am I. I'm not a great striker, not a great wrestler, not a great jiu-jitsu guy. I'm athletic, I have a strong spirit, and I will fight to the death. T-Bout had a solid game plan and he arguably won that fight. He was able to match Khabib's strengths. He threw good straight shots and he was able to negate a lot of Khabib's wrestling. That is what I'm able to do against virtually every opponent. Styles make matchups, and anybody who's involved with the sport at a high level knows that." With Jake Paul and Ben Askren set to box on April 17th, it's fair to say, judging by how Bellator fighter Dillon Danis has been going off on the two, he is upset it was not him who got to fight Jake Paul. In a recent tweet, Danis said, "Imagine being Jorge Masvidal, 2 clowns. Jorge the sellout, Masvidal the princess of Miami." Then Bisping replied, "Imagine being so insecure about your own fight career, which is actually non-existent, that you have to constantly take shots at fighters outside of the promotion you're in so you get clout and stay relevant." And then the two continued with Danis saying, "Stay in the commentary booth where it's safe, otherwise you will need more than sweet science to fix what I would do to your other eye in a boxing ring, you twat." And Bisping responded, "Big words for an unproven fighter. The 2, yes only 2 fighters you faced have records of 2-5 and 2-4. Please, for the love of God, shut up and stop embarrassing yourself. And you had your MMA debut in 2018, it's 2021, 3 years, 2 fights. Go shine Conor's shoes, you loser."